Carol Burnett has spent more than 7 decades in the public eye, becoming one of the most beloved figures in entertainment history. Known for her groundbreaking variety show, her sharp wit, and her unmistakable ability to make people laugh until their sides hurt, Burnett has always carried herself with grace and humor. But even icons, no matter how warm and approachable they appear on screen, have their personal battles and people they'd rather forget. At 92, Burnett's reflections on her long career and personal life reveal that there was one individual she truly despised more than anyone else. For most of her life, Burnett has avoided public feuds and messy scandals. Instead, she let her work speak for her. Yet in candid interviews over the years, she has admitted that behind the laughter there were deep pains, particularly rooted in her early family life. Her father battled alcoholism, and her mother struggled with similar issues. Carol often spoke about how difficult it was growing up in such an unstable household, eventually being raised by her grandmother. These wounds shaped her, but they also left behind lingering resentment. The person Burnett has said she truly hated wasn't a Hollywood rival, a critical journalist, or even a fellow comedian who stole the spotlight. It was someone much closer to home, her own stepfather. According to Burnett, he made her childhood unbearable. She recalled in past interviews how he mistreated her mother, how his actions left scars that haunted the family for years, and how she grew to despise him. Even as she built a glittering career filled with Emmy wins, Golden Globes, and the respect of an entire industry, the shadows of that painful past were never completely erased. Burnett has often used humor as a shield. In fact, part of what made her comedy so resonant was that it came from a place of truth. She understood hardship. She knew what it meant to hurt. And she knew what it felt like to carry bitterness in her heart, even against someone who was supposed to be part of her family. But rather than let that hatred define her, Burnett chose a different path. She turned her personal struggles into art, channeling all of the raw emotion into laughter that uplifted millions of people. Even now at 92, Burnett remains candid about the darker corners of her past. She doesn't shy away from admitting that she despised her stepfather, but she frames it less as gossip and more as a lesson about survival. She acknowledges that carrying hate is heavy, but recognizing it and confronting it is part of healing. By speaking openly about her pain, she gives others permission to face their own. Carol Burnett's story is proof that even legends aren't immune to deep wounds. Yes, she hated him. She's honest about that. But she didn't let that hatred consume her or rob her of the joy she was destined to share with the world. Instead, she turned the pain into a life of laughter, breaking barriers for women in comedy, and leaving behind a legacy that will long outlast the bitterness of her childhood memories.